In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a very interesting statistic revealed by NPD, the top 10 games by dollar sales on the PlayStation 4, and some of them are pretty interesting, so I wanted to go through that and give you guys my input. Speaking about commercial numbers, we have some numbers for Shadow of the Tomb Raider and its first week sales at retail, and it looks to be a little bit disappointing as I had predicted. On a more positive note, the PlayStation 4's totality in lifetime sales has passed the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 4 still has a long road ahead on the market, so this is some very positive news for Sony. Also, we had known that some PlayStation 3 exclusives were shutting down their servers, however, that has been extended, so if you want to play those PS3 exclusives for whatever reason, you can do so for just a little bit longer. And I'll be rounding out the video today by taking a look at some pretty good game deals on some very recently released games. More on that at the end of this video. First, let's go over NPD revealing the top 10 games by dollar sales on the PlayStation 4. Now, this is excluding Red Dead Redemption 2, but the top 10 are as follows. Grand Theft Auto 5 is easily at first place. Number 2 is Call of Duty World War II. Number 3 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Number 4 is yet again another Call of Duty game in Infinite Warfare. Number 5 is NBA 2K18. Number 6 is Battlefield 1. Number 7 is God of War. 8 is Star Wars Battlefront. 9 is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And 10 is NBA 2K17. A lot to actually digest in that lineup. Now, God of War was a very recent release, so it being at number 7 is actually quite impressive because I see this game generating a lot more revenue this holiday season, so it already being at number 7 is pretty impressive, and I can see it move up the ranks pretty easily. Very interesting to see that how everyone is hearkening the end of Call of Duty, that 3 games are still in the top 5, and we have Advanced Warfare at number 9, and I'm sure Black Ops 4 will soon be entering this top 10 lineup as well. I think it's also pretty impressive to see how strongly EA has ruined Star Wars Battlefront. The first game is at number 8. We know the second game didn't do nearly as well, and now it begs the question, what is the future of the Star Wars Battlefront franchise? EA really ruined it, and it's kind of incredible to see that Battlefront went from that point at being at number 8 in terms of all-time PlayStation 4 games in terms of revenue, to Battlefront 2 being a game that hardly anyone talks about. We don't know what the future really holds for the franchise, but hey, I don't want to be a complete negative Nancy. Hopefully EA can get it back on track. Also, you guys might be wondering, where is Marvel Spider-Man? Well, Marvel Spider-Man just released back in September, and it looks like it will be jumping on the PlayStation 4 list next month, so that's pretty good for that. It'll probably be at that number 10 spot, and I see it going up rather quickly, because do remember that Marvel Spider-Man had a bigger opening weekend than God of War. God of War is at number 7. Give it some time, I could see Spider-Man get to around the God of War tier at number 7, maybe even overtake that game, depending on how much revenue it generates this holiday. Again, this NPD data goes up to October 6th, and that means that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Red Dead Redemption 2 were not included, so after everything falls into place, it'll be interesting to see where those games rank as well. And we'll definitely keep you guys updated. But moving on from that, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was a game that I was very skeptical of going in, not necessarily with how good the game was going to be. I was sure that Eidos Montreal was going to deliver something of quality, but I was really worried about this game from a commercial standpoint, and it seems like those worries were just because the first week sales for Shadow of the Tomb Raider have it pegged around 682,000 units. Now, do bear in mind that Shadow of the Tomb Raider was released on a Friday. However, if you did buy the deluxe edition, you would get it that Tuesday, so kind of weird how they did the release of this game. But still, in comparison, if you compare it to Rise of the Tomb Raider sold 684,000 units as well. Rise of the Tomb Raider sold around 684,000 units in its first week, but of course, Rise of the Tomb Raider was initially released as an Xbox exclusive. It was released on the Xbox One, and then it also saw a release on the Xbox 360 with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, you had it released on the PS4 and the Xbox One, so you would expect somewhat better commercial numbers. Of course, the entire pool of how many people own an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4 has also grown, and you look ahead to Black Friday, they are already discounting Shadow of the Tomb Raider to $29.99, and I think that's a telltale sign of this game not doing all too well, and we're not even 2 months removed from the release, and it's already down to less than $40 on Steam. I think that's pretty incredible, and really a sign of how this game is doing from a commercial standpoint. Quality-wise, if you've been into the Tomb Raider game since the 2013 reboot, you should definitely check out Shadow of the Tomb Raider, as it's a very, very good game. I think just the promotion and marketing of the game has been a bit of a blunder, and I think the sales show that. Moving on from that, that's very negative news, but how about some positive news? The PlayStation 4 has passed the PlayStation 3 in lifetime sales. The PlayStation 4 is sitting at around 86.1 million consoles sold, while the PlayStation 3 had sold around 83.8 million. Do bear in mind that the PlayStation 3 was on the market for a significantly longer time than the PlayStation 4 has been at this point, but the PS4 has been around for quite a while. We're talking around 5 years, but the PS3 was on the market for 7 years, and that was before the PS4 was even released. Of course, people continued to buy consoles after that. So those are some pretty impressive numbers, and I very much see the PlayStation 4 cracking that elusive 100 million mark. That's how you know a console has been really really successful if it cracks 100 million consoles sold. And I think it's a foregone conclusion that the PlayStation 4 will hit that number. Now, will it be the most successful console of all time? Probably not. The PS2 is just so far ahead with over 155 million units sold. I just don't think the PS4 has any chance of hitting that. And a significant reason why a lot of people bought that console was just for it to be a DVD player. The PlayStation 4, it'll probably crack 100 million, maybe 110. 155 is just way too far out of its reach. I don't see that number being attainable, but still. And the fact that it will without a doubt hit 100 million, I think that's a home run for Sony at this point. Moving on from that, we had mentioned a couple of PlayStation 3 exclusives were shutting down their servers, specifically PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, Twisted Metal, and Warhawk were set to close on October 25th. However, an email has been sent out by Sony, and here's what it said. Quote, "Dear valued PlayStation customer, we wanted to update you on a planned service shutdown which impacts online access for Warhawk, Twisted Metal, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, and Sound Shapes. This has now been extended to January 31st, 2019 at 12 a.m. Pacific time. Following the shutdown, Warhawk will no longer be playable unless the PS3 system is set to LAN mode for local network play. For Twisted Metal and PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, users can play the campaign offline as well as local couch multiplayer in split screen mode. For Sound Shapes, users will be able to play the campaign and all DLC purchases as well as create their own levels. However, users won't be able to share their levels with the community or download community created levels." So just an update for any of you guys playing those titles. Kind of unfortunate to see all of those games shut down, especially Warhawk, which was one of the most iconic PlayStation 3 exclusives ever. I feel like if you had a PlayStation 3 from the early get-go, Warhawk was one of those games you bought. It was bundled in with PlayStation Bluetooth headsets, and it was one of the go-to multiplayer experiences, and I just have a lot of fond memories with that. It's been almost 12 years since that game was released, so I don't really have any ill will towards Sony shutting down the servers. I get it from a business standpoint, but still, nonetheless, I have a lot of fond memories with that game. Lastly, just want to give a shout to a couple of good deals available right now. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is available on eBay right now for $49.99. It looks like this game won't be seeing any steep discounts for Black Friday. I saw a listing for a Target doorbuster deal, and that'll be $44.99, so it'll be hard to get that, and you're only saving an additional $5 by waiting until Black Friday, so this might be one of the better deals you can get. Marvel Spider-Man is also $49.99 shipped on eBay, and then Owlboy has a pretty decent discount on the PlayStation Store right now. It's around that $17 mark, $17.49 to be exact. This game hasn't seen a lot of discounts, and it hasn't really gotten a lot of attention since its PlayStation 4 release, but it's a fantastic story-driven platform adventure game. It was released on PC a couple years ago, and it finally made its way over to PlayStation 4. It's a great game. 30% off isn't a significant discount, but if you want a quality platformer, I think Owlboy will have you covered. That's gonna conclude this video. Again, the NPD has revealed the top 10 games by dollar sales on the PlayStation 4. GTA 5 is sitting atop the throne. A lot of Call of Duty presence on there. God of War is there. Star Wars Battlefront is there. Do expect that to fluctuate a little bit with Marvel Spider-Man entering the list, Black Ops 4 probably entering, as well as Red Dead Redemption 2. Shadow of the Tomb Raider didn't do all too well from a commercial standpoint. It sold 682,000 units in its first week. Let's see how those numbers shake up by the end of the year. But right now, I would say that's a little disappointing. PlayStation 4 has passed PS3 in lifetime sales. If you're playing PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, Twisted Metal, or Warhawk, you'll have a little bit more time to play those games online, specifically until January 31st of 2019. And lastly, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Marvel Spider-Man, and Owlboy. Get some discounts on those. Links to all of those will be in the description box below. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.